Hi creative friends, I wanted to show my brand new, just finished knitting Melt the Ice hat. I heard about the Melt the Ice hat and the fundraising effort that they're doing in Twin Cities, Minnesota, and so put my $5 towards the cause and got the pattern for the hat. Speaking of that fundraising effort, I've seen reports that it has raised over $650,000 in just the last, well, I guess it's been a couple weeks maybe, that they started this. And so anyway, was glad to put my $5 toward it, and then also learn some new knitting skills. So as a beginning knitter, I used my Knitting for Dummies book quite a bit. And then to do the hat, found a couple of tutorials on basically the skills needed to knit the Melt the Ice hat, which are all new to me. And so one is using circular needles and knitting in the round, literally starting with the brim of the hat and knitting around and around on the circular needles. And then as it gets closer to the top of the hat and the opening gets smaller, learned how to change to double pointed needles to finish it off, which was challenging, but I managed to do it and finish the hat in plenty of time for the No Kings 3 protest coming up in just a few weeks. Quick hi from Ren and Puzzle, my studio assistants. So here's a little info blurb on the pattern. In the 1940s, Norwegians made and wore red pointed hats with a tassel as a form of visual protest against Nazi occupation of their country. Within 2 years, the Nazis made these protest hats illegal and punishable by law to wear, make, or distribute. As purveyors of traditional craft, we felt it appropriate to revisit this design. The bottom part of the hat, starting with the brim, using the circular needles, was actually pretty easy to pick up. The ribbing was just knit one, purl one, knit one, purl one, just, back and forth, going around and around with the circular needles. And here I'm changing to the double pointed needles. You can see the circular needle is starting to be worked out as I change over to the double pointed needles, and that part was definitely challenging. I felt like I was all thumbs, but figured it out. Here I've worked the yarn totally off of the circular needles and have switched over to the double pointed needles, and with each row the number of stitches decreases and the opening at the top gets smaller and smaller. When there were just a few stitches on each double pointed needle, I threaded the yarn through a big sewing type of needle and worked it through those stitches so I could pull out the double pointed needles, and then just pulled that yarn through those last stitches, pulled it tight to close the top. I enjoyed doing the Melt the Ice hat and learning some new skills. Sorry I didn't get video of making the tassel on top. It basically was just braiding strands of yarn.